Hi friends, it's Mr. Wedge. Today I'm going to show you how you can paint a landscape. And a landscape is just a picture of the outdoors. And there's a few things we need, but the first one is we need to write our name on the back with a pencil and our class code, K something. Flip it over. And the most important thing in a landscape is the horizon. And that's a line that goes across your paper or across the landscape, and it's where the sky and the ground touch. Kind of. It's always at your eye level. So you could have a bumpy horizon. If you do like a zigzag, it'll look like mountains. If you do straight across, it'll look like a field. You could do a kind of a curved line and it would look like hills. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw a curved line like this, almost like a sideways S. And now I've got a hill. So above my horizon is the sky, and below my horizon is the ground. And I'm going to show you a couple tricks when we paint this, because the sky actually changes color. I don't know if you've ever noticed before, but it does. But we'll talk about that in a second. But right now, even though I have the sky and the ground, and it is a landscape, it's kind of boring. I need some stuff. But the thing to remember is that when things get closer to the horizon, they look smaller. So if I draw a tree, and you could just do a circle with a rectangle under it for a tree. If I draw a tree close to the horizon, it's going to get a lot smaller. So that tree looks like it's far away. Because when things get farther away, they look smaller. And there's other ways to do trees. You could do pine trees, just a triangle with a rectangle. You could do overlapping. So if I draw a smaller tree and it hits here, I'm going to pretend it keeps going. Kind of like that. And then that tree looks like it's behind the other one, so they're overlapping a little bit. You could put a road in your landscape. Maybe the road starts on the horizon and it kind of curves around through like that. But I'm going to draw the other side of the road, but it's going to get wider as it goes away from the horizon because things get bigger. So it's going to start out really close to the other line, and I'm going to go along next to it, but as it gets farther down the paper, it's going to get wider. You see that? So that's a cool little trick for drawing a road. You just make the space in between your lines get farther apart, get bigger as it goes down. And then you could add like rocks. They're kind of bumpy and flat on the bottom, I think. You could do clouds the same way. It kind of looks like a cloud. Just the thing to remember is when things get close to the horizon, they get really small. And when they get farther away from the horizon, they get really big. And you can have clouds go right off your paper like this. You can have them coming in from the side. So you can put whatever you want in your landscape. I might even put a house right here. And I'm making it kind of small because I drew it up near the horizon. So once you're happy with it and you've got some things drawn in your landscape, we can start painting. And I'm using watercolor today. And like I said, there's a little trick for doing the sky. I'm going to add water to my blue, and I'm going to start painting the sky. But as I go down, I'm going to make it a little bit more watery. And this is kind of hard to do. But if you can do this trick, it's going to make it look even more real, because the sky in real life is dark blue above you, but then when it gets closer to the horizon, it actually gets lighter. It turns into a really, really light blue. So as I go down, I'm just going to use more and more water. See that? It's kind of tricky to do, but if you do it, it just makes your painting look even more like real life. Almost like we're looking out a window at the real world. So landscape is just the picture of the outdoors. And you can put whatever you want in your landscape. You could put people walking or animals. You could do a farm with, cows on it. Totally up to you. There we go. So my sky kind of turned white as it got close to the horizon. I just added more water. There's another trick in the sky you could do if you just take a lot of water, a little bit of black. You can make gray, and that you could do like shadows at the bottom of your clouds. And that'll make them look even more realistic. So when I was a kid, I just put grass at the bottom and I put blue at the top, you know, but the sky and the ground always touch. So, and once I have gray, I can put it other places, right? Like here's my rock. I could make my road gray. Gray is just light black or dark white. It's kind of in between black and white. So there we go. I'm going to paint my grass green. I'm going to skip ahead. I kept going and I painted the grass green, and I painted my house yellow, and then I did the tree trunks too. I was going to do my trees green, you know, like the leaves and the needles on the trees, but then I realized it would look the same as the grass. So here's another little art trick. I'm going to take the green that I have and I'm just going to add another color to it, but I still want it to look green, so just a little bit. And I'm going to use blue, but you could add any color you want to it. Just a little bit so it still looks green. So it's still green, it's just a different kind of green. And that way it looks different than my grass, and I'll be able to see it. So I'll just paint my trees with this bluish green that I made. And that's it. You could add the sun in the sky if you want. I should have drawn it first, but you don't have to do the sun if you don't want. You can tell it's a sunny day even though I didn't draw the sun. So there you go. That's a watercolor landscape. Hope you have fun with this today. Don't forget to start with a horizon and put your name on the back. And work hard and have fun.